It should be fucking minutes.
Yeah, how many trucks are in the parking lot? One guy just left.
You want to sit in and just...
I know you don't get enough sitting.
Everybody signed in?
Thank you, David.
No, we had 24 last time. We only had
We only have how many?
16.
There's seats up here, guys. All right, hey, Mike. All right, hey, thank you guys for coming. So, anybody have anything they want to bring up before we get going? Yes.
Oklahoma State, if the Scout is open, doesn't matter if you get a bypass or anything, you have to pull in. Oklahoma State. If the Scout says open, there's no sign that says when Scout's open, trucks pull in. It just says open. If you don't pull in, you will get pulled over.
I got a
I
question.
don't think a bypass works in Oklahoma.
No, it don't. They're not possible with bypass.
I got a question. So then, when that officer pulls you over, this is what you tell that officer. The drive-bys, I'm gonna wing it out the fucking window, 70 miles an hour.
They're not passable with drive-bys.
Yeah, I don't think driveways works in Oklahoma.
If it gives me a bypass, I'm gone.
Yeah, no, you can't.
And they have pulled me over.
Did you get signed in?
No.
Come on, Michael Grace signed in.
I just want to bring that to
Oh,
everybody.
thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, hey, one other housekeeping, guys. Real quick. Somebody's smoking in the showers when they're showering. And, I mean, that's, I don't know how they do it. Wash their ass or something. I don't know, but it's, I don't know how they do it. Yeah. So, just remember, this is your guys' house. Away from home. Keep it clean.
Yeah, it's not a truck stop.
There you go. Yeah, there's no major. Come in and clean it. So,
Down that he didn't drop the stairs.
everybody, I think you're doing All right, so, we were all over the news thanks to, I sent today to the news and went to the Arizona Trucking Association and got us some really good press out there. So I want you guys to see this, and I want you to, we'll discuss the driving behavior afterwards. But
Oh, this one?
here we go. This is the actual video that came in.
Oh my God!
Yeah. What would you think about this? What do? You see some guy playing human Frogger, and you're like, what do? Tell me that these two guys didn't do the exact perfect thing.
No move.
They didn't panic.
They didn't panic. Good. So let's watch the news, what the news says.
Well, dash cam video shows the moments a person runs across the I-10 near 83rd Avenue. That's 6 lanes of traffic.
I was just speechless as to what I saw. You know, my first thought was, it's totally crazy.
The video was caught by a driver's dash cam with White Mountain Trucking, which is based in Levine.
Thank goodness for these professionally trained truck drivers who knew how to react and not overreact.
The dash cam shows traffic was moving around 68 miles per hour as the person stops in the middle of the freeway. Tony Bradley is the president and CEO of the Arizona Trucking Association. He says this could have turned into a bad situation in the blink of an eye.
The damage is endless, right? There could have been catastrophic loss of life had one of those trucks hit another truck or another vehicle, and then what happened from there? I mean, it could have gone back, several dozen cars.
A spokesperson with the Arizona Department of Public Safety tells me they did get a call about this, but they do not know who this person is or where they came from because they never found them.
Complete mystery to us. We just knew our driver saw it, and everybody had the same reaction to the count.
Bradley says this video is a reminder to not drive distracted and always watch your surroundings.
Make sure you've got enough room between you and the vehicle in front of you so that you can see what's going on. Go the speed limit. Make sure that you're being observant.
This crazy DPS tells me they get dozens of calls a day of people walking on the freeway or on the on-ramps. And while we don't know the situation with the person in this video, they say many people walking on the roads are homeless and some are suicidal. Now, this is considered trespassing and you can be fined for doing this.
He had a point there about the professional drivers knew what to do. I think I would have panicked and,
And just a
swerved.
small adjustment with a semi at that speed can totally go
A
crazy.
busy freeway too.
Holly, thank you.
That's why they don't drive trucks.
But how nice to get some good praise, right? How nice.
And it's free advertising.
By the way, they caught the guy.
They did catch the guy. He was running from Tolleson PD.
Oh, he was on top of it.
But you got to be. Yeah, they were chasing him. So they actually went around to the other side. And when he made it across the freeway, they were waiting for him. I guess he didn't want to try his luck going back across. Because when he stood on that line, I guarantee you could have fired a gun in his butt and it would have bounced. The bullet would have bounced off. Because think about that, man. You're like in between two freaking semis. He's lucky that he didn't get sucked under.
Right.
So just some great press, and kudos to our driver.
I thought that was going the other way.
Huh?
They didn't swerve between traffic. I thought that was going the other way.
Yeah.
I noticed that New Mexico, there's like 4 nights ago on the side of the road, just a random guy changing his shirt in the mid. It's dark. There's like New Mexico, that stretch right there. You see more and more people on the side of the freeway.
That's too bad. All right. So what we're going to discuss today is we'll talk about our safety score. We're going to talk about the CAB report, which is the insurance report. We're going to talk about some whys, dispatch concerns, shop requirements, truck and trailer dynamics, load securement, oversized laws, accident procedures, and some videos of some stellar driving. Stellar means is very sarcastic. So, boys, we've met 2 alerts now. We're back in. And people, when guys get bad inspections or they get 1 or 2 things on the inspection, I keep hearing, well, I'm sorry, I should have done better. There are not a ton of points on some of these things. But if 10 guys in 1 month get a violation, that's 1 point, that drives our score up 10 points. And so we're already at the point where we're in 2 violations. Our hours of service, we're right at the threshold level for the alert. But anytime there's 2 alerts, the feds or DPS can come in and do a full-blown audit. And so that's not what we want. Because those guys, they basically get to lift the skirt up and see what's underneath. So our unsafe driving, though, is complete crap, to put it nicely. We're at 80%. We're 15 points over. And this is because of speeding, late use, cell phones, seatbelts, all these things that are unsafe considered by the federal government goes in that unsafe driving category. And it's killing us. Our insurance company, the safety gal there, contacts me about once a month and she's like, well, John, had so-and-so and so-and-so not gotten this, you guys would have been out in 6 months, but it just keeps pushing out. So if the feds or DPS comes in, they will make strong recommendations on how to curb the speeding. And we all know what that means.
We're trying to push it right now.
Yeah. 68 will be it's 68 or 67 will be the top speed. Nationwide, you have a truck and you're going over that speed, you are
And I think that's in July.
No, but it's not passed. It hasn't passed.
No, that's when they're supposed to vote on it, in July.
Yeah, I don't think it'll pass. So, but just be mindful, guys. I mean, there's certain speeds. There's certain speeds that you guys can go that are okay. But once you start to get too high, it's just ridiculous. So this is our unsafe driving. You know, we started out 6 months ago at 4.28. Now we're at 4.72. It's just been almost a steady incline, and we've got to figure out how to stop this. I mean, we turn your trucks down if you get caught. I don't know why it's not working. If you guys have any suggestions, you know, this is all of us have a you know, skin in this game.
Bring them in for a week and put them on day running and let them hit their pockets. Don't hit the whole fleet. Hit the guys that's doing it, because it seems like it's the same fucking idiots just doing it. It's like they don't care.
It's a bunch of difference. I mean, I could show names, but I won't.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Then we hurt feelings. So
You need to hit their pockets.
So there's our violation. So the most frequent violation we have is 6 to 10 over, and we have 11 of those. And you can see on the far right that carries a severity weight of 4. Then the next one down we have 9, failing to use your seatbelt. That carries a severity weight of 7 points.
Why don't you wear your
Failure to obey. I don't know. That's a good question. Failure to obey traffic control device. So that's the scale or the road sign that says no trucks in left lane. It just depends on what the officers are riding. That's 5. Then you got the 15 over. That's 10. That's the maximum. You get stopped for drinking and driving in the truck. That's 10. So this 15 over is 10. Speeding in a work zone, 10. And then we have 11 to 14 over. We have 4 of those. 7 points. So the lane restrictions, we have 4 of those, 3 points. Using equipping a commercial motor vehicle with radar detector, 2 of those. Those are 5 pointers. And then leaving your lane, 5 points. So they all add up super quick, and it takes 2 years for it to drop off. Stephen.
So what if they see that on when a CHP pulls it next to you, or when you've been, and they see all this, then they pretty much know what the right before, right?
Yeah, so we'll get to a slide. I'm going to show you. It's like when I was working trucks, I would pull up next to a truck, I'd look over and see their DOT number, type it into my computer, and I'll show you what pops. And in law enforcement, there's a saying with trucking companies: worst is first. So when they come in to do an audit on us, they're going to look at the drivers, and we'll see here we have like 17 drivers that have severe violations. So they're going to come in and they're going to say, we want to see these guys, we want to look at these trucks, and we want to look at these guys' logbook or ELD records, we want to look at this, and they pick the worst. They don't pick the best. They don't come in and say, oh, hey, this guy does fantastic, he's never been stopped. They pick the worst. And then they fry us, because what have we done to curtail the violations? And that's the hard part. I mean, you can only push a driver so long before you guys are like, I'm out. And you move on to another company. So it's hard. It's a hard thing, guys. So here's our hours of service. Steady climb up. We're right at 65. The threshold is 65. So hopefully if we don't get anything this month, and we have something fall off, we'll drop out of that category. But here's our violations. Driver failed to manually add shipping document number. How hard is this? Not hard. 8 of those. And you can see they're all 1-point violations except for driving beyond the 11 hours. That's a 7-point violation. But then we have 6 of the driver failed to certify accuracy of the log. Certifying your log. Driver's record of duty status, general form and manner. They can write it in different ways, but it's all basically the simple stuff. Having the wrong trailer number. And then like we talked about, the driving beyond the 11, driver failing to maintain ELD user guide. We give you a card, and there's 3 places inside the ELD. So there's just, sometimes me and Mike wonder if anybody pays attention in orientation, or if they just sitting there and think, my gosh, I am sick and tired of being here.
Why don't you just bring them in and make them watch the videos again?
That's a good suggestion.
I'd set them in the computer and let them sit there all day and watch the video over and over. And then shit like this won't happen. I mean, how hard is it? The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is certify your logs from last night. And then you make sure you got your right trailer number and white bill of lading number in. I mean, how fucking hard is it? You got 10 minutes before you can pull out. You're not doing the pre-trip for 10 minutes.
You're absolutely right.
Hey, John.
Yes.
A couple times, like, being new, that, you know, I didn't exactly do things right at the beginning. I remember, like, going, like, 3 or 4 days without putting in a shipper.
Shipping number,
And,
bill of lading.
and I didn't think anything about it. And the days,
Hey guys,
nobody even said anything. So, I mean, I'm like dialing in on that, trying to make sure I get that right and certify my logs every day and get those numbers in there every single time. But I mean, it went for days. And didn't even know I was doing anything wrong.
the hard thing is that there's myself and Jordan, and we try to, there's over 100 of you guys. And so to go through everybody's log meticulously every day, that's a fairy tale. It's not happening. That's why we kind of work on it so hard during orientation. But know that if you guys have any questions, just call. I mean, call. Now, don't do like some have done and call me at like 2 o'clock in the morning because you were moving your truck trying to sneak up to the fuel box and put you on into driving. That will. I cannot take accountability for what I'll say on the phone at that point. So. But I mean, seriously, if it's during normal hours, I mean, up till like 9 o'clock at night, call me, man. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, 3:15 now, and go to the gym. Call me. I'll stop what I'm doing to help you. Our crash indicator is kind of leveled off. Hopefully we do a little bit better. We've been doing real good for the past couple weeks, so great. Our vehicle maintenance, which also includes, what also is included in vehicle maintenance? Load securement. Good. Holy smokes. I turned it down, but it's hot in here, isn't it?
It's a lot of body in there.
So our load securement is in there. We've seen some things as you guys come into the yard. We'll go over some of those things, but overall vehicle maintenance, one of the biggest things we've got to have you doing. So we need you to fill out beavers. If you get a trailer and you go, and Kelly says, take your empty one out to CMC and drop it. Before you take it out to CMC, you should know the problems. If there's a problem, you need to tell Kelly, I got to bring it by the yard. And then you got to fill out your beaver in your ELD. For those of you with paper logs, fill it out on your paper log and hand it in to Scott. We've got to show that we're doing the process. If we don't, we're in big violation. It doesn't take long. There's going to be a video on here how to do it on the ELD again. Paper log, very, very simple to do.
Last year sometime, Scott, when you pick it up an empty trailer out, give them the trailer number. If it hasn't been inspected, don't inspect it before you leave.
Well, that's the annual inspection. But we're talking about the daily.
The monthly inspections, they get monthly.
Right.
But if it's in the, bring it through the shop so you get it fixed before they go out or looked at.
Yeah, because it takes a lot to run a guy out to CMC because they tell him, oh, the tires are bad. We never get which tires are bad and how many tires are bad. So he runs out there. He'll take, 4 tires with him. Sure enough, all 8 have been flat spotted or ripped up. But
Another thing is if you have a back shredder out there, you says take a shredder out to 16. You have a back shredder. You can just come in here and drop a clip and get another one. You don't have to sit here and wait for the shredder to get work on.
Yep.
So you're not running out your clock.
Yeah. So everything Stephen and David do, and all of us that help them, we're trying to speed up your guys' process throughout this. Mike and I just got certified, so if you guys get drawn on alcohol or a UA or both, we do it right here. Nobody has to go to concentrate anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you have alcohol in your breath. but we're trying to do everything in-house so that it's speed. You come in, we say, hey, we got to do a UA and what it is, it's a swab we stick in between your cheek and your gum, and it stays there for 5 seconds. We pull it out, we watch it for 4 minutes, boom, you're out. It's that simple. So we're trying to streamline. Hopefully the drug tests will be going to the same saliva testing, and so we'll be able to do it the same way. So we don't have shy bladders. And I just peed before I came in. I've told everybody this. At the beginning of a quarter, so January, April, July, and October, if I'm calling you in, it might not be for a drug test, but it might be. So come in and don't stop by the bathroom. It's easier to come in and be doing the pee-pee dance, and I'll tell you go, or come in and we'll take the sample. So that way we speed things up for you guys. On our violations for this, inoperable required lamps still at 15, weight severity at 2, brake lights inop.
Is that trucks or trailers?
It's probably going to be trailers. But the lights could be anything from your side markers, any light. Unless it's one of the aftermarket lights you guys put on, which brings me to another point. My nephew is a trooper, commercial trooper in Utah. Do not run your aftermarket globes up there. They have pushed it out to all the commercial guys to start writing. So they've already gone through their warning period, and now they're going to write tickets for it.
Inside the cab or outside?
No, outside.
Outside.
Okay.
So nothing, like how guys will, in the 389s, will run them in the air cleaners and the underglow, and Utah's on a big kick about that, so be careful, please.
They're all wired in, so you turn the lights on, they come on.
And we need the shop to rewire to where it's a separate switch.
For any color?
Huh?
For all colors? Like if they're ambers?
If you're running amber and you can see it to the, I don't know, I'll call them and ask them.
You know what I mean? Like some guys have like purple.
Yeah, you don't want any, so what's allowed to be on your truck, there's 3 colors. White, amber, and red. And that's about it. So, anyways, we're doing real good with our inspection, with our vehicle maintenance, and I applaud you guys for that. Thank you. Along with the shop, everybody's doing a really good job. Here is our driver fitness. Again, this doesn't talk about how big our belly is. This is all about having the right endorsement, or not getting caught without our glasses, or not getting caught without our hearing aids and stuff like that.
Seatbelt?
No, seatbelt's under unsafe, but this is just licensing. So if you have a restriction for like hearing aids, make sure you have your hearing aids. Make sure that they're working real well. Make sure that you have glasses. We had a guy lose his glasses the other day, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll just go by Walmart." Well, what are your glasses for? Oh, so I can see far. Well, what does Walmart sell? Readers, right? It's not going to help. So if you wear glasses, I'd suggest having a second pair. He actually found his down in between the step and the tank, so it worked out. So here's what pulls up. If I was to pull up next to you when I was a trooper and I ran the RDOT number, this is what pops. And so if you look, it says ISS inspection score is now up to 89, which means some states will not give you the bypass anymore. ISS recommendation, what does it say? Inspect. So you're putting them to the curb. Basis of recommendation is safety, so nobody wants that.
What number does that have to be so you don't get inspected as recommendation?
It has to drop down to,
65 or
I can't remember where the threshold is on that.
60s.
Yeah, if you're in the 60s, you're a yellow light, basically. This one, you're this big red light. So this is from our insurance company. It's called the Cab Report. This is what they run, and this is what we have. So we've got 2 alerts. The rest are pretty good. But here it is. This carrier has 17 severe violations cited in the past 36 months. Driver information is available. So I can ask insurance, or I can go in and run it and pull up all 17 drivers that have had severe driving violations. And then you can see there's all sorts of information here. Motor carriers had inspections and or crashes where the driver was under 25 years old. That's a big red flag for insurance. The ISS recommendation, inspection, warranted. So, and then it shows our violations. So our unsafe driving, 15% above category threshold. Hours of service were right at the threshold. So this is the national average of out of service. We're still way under it, which is real good. I appreciate that. And this is our driver violations. So you can see the top one is speeding, 29 in 36 months. Almost a third of our fleet. Our next other one is the logbook form and manner. So that's our bill of lading number, our certification, our correct trailer numbers. If you guys have too many in there, hours of service, scroll up till you get down to today. Touch today and it'll bring it up and you'll see how many you have in there. You can just touch in that box and backspace. And then once you make a correction in there, at the bottom of your screen there's a save. That locks it in. If you're trying to do it from the open page, where it shows the truck, the trailer, and the bill of lading number, you just hit the box, and there's X's right there. That never wipes it out really well. So,
It doesn't wipe it out?
No, sometimes it does, sometimes it don't, but it's a flip of a coin. It's almost like the Frogger guy. Am I going to make it?
Yeah.
You know, lucky day for him, he made it. He got a nice pair of bracelets at the end. Winner. All other driver violations, 21. So, speeding, that's where they're going to focus their attention. This is vehicle violations. Our top one is lighting. Then it goes down to all other vehicle defects, brakes. Hey, and then, real quick, guys, if you're getting inspected and they say, oh, hey, you've got an air leaking somewhere, just say, hey, listen, our shop guy has asked if you'll point this out, because sometimes when the trucks get back, we can't find it. And so if you'll point this out to me, that would be great. Because we've had several trucks put out of service, and then they let them go, and then they get here, and there's not a damn thing wrong with the air system. So, please try to find out. And if you're put out of service, take pictures. Because we had a guy going up into Vegas, the guy writes him up for the thing that I beat him up on all the time. And in fact, in the new out of service criteria, it's spelled out. Did you see that? Right. Yeah, it's spelled out. And in fact, they used our truck as our loading truck and everything. So he wrote us up for not having 2 tie downs within the first 10 feet. But I didn't get any pictures. But I was able to still win that one through a data key. So if they're putting you out of service, take pictures of what they're putting you out of service for. That way I can look at it and say, well, no, he's wrong. Or, yeah, he's right. And it becomes a trading tool at that point. But if he's wrong, then we get it removed. So, Gary?
John, can I come up here for a minute?
Sure. You're not going to take your clothes off again, are you? Okay.
All right, guys, back
That's the only reason Stephen came today.
No.
Never show up.
I know, I was surprised when I seen you walk in.
Magic Mike thing.
Yeah. Guys, this is back to electronic logs. This is what John's talking about. You're looking at your logs. If you scroll up, you get today's log. See where it says trailer number, BOL number? You're not going to change the trailer number unless you're dropping it to pick up another trailer. When you drop your load, if you're going to pick up another one, all you got to do is hit that backspace, hit save. Now you don't have no BOL number. Now that's telling DOT when they pull you over, okay, he's empty. But and you drop a trailer and you pick another one up, if you don't go in here and hit this box and change the numbers, you're hauling 2 trailers. It's a violation. You have to go in and change the numbers.
Good. Paul.
So on that question
Thank you,
right there,
Gary.
so when you you're doing multiple trailers in a day, or you're at one point you're empty because you're dead heading to your next pickup. So the next day when I'm certifying my log, which does it matter if you leave? Because I was actually active empty, and I was active a different trailer for that. When I'm certifying my log the next day, the previous day, which one do you leave in there, or do you leave both in there?
No, when you drop something, wipe it out.
Yep.
But I think you need to leave both of them because you did.
No, you cannot. It's a violation.
No, what I'm
Not
asking,
both of them in
the
there.
technical question I'm asking is, because I'm certifying that my previous day, I had this, like at the end of the day, I had this shred.
Right. But let me tell you, hang on, real quick, guys. Listen, what happens is you're not seeing it. On the back side, where you download your logs and it goes to DOT, or where we get them, I can see all your trailers that you drove that you pulled that day.
Okay.
They're there. But when they stop you roadside, they're going to look at you and go, "You're not hauling 2 trailers.
Right.
Why do you have this extra one there?"
And that's a
So
violation.
you got to wipe it off. Same with your bills of lading. Wipe them out. Once you're done, wipe them. You don't need something there unless you're pulling something. Okay.
Now let's hear paper log.
Yeah, if you're a paper log,
Yeah.
that whiteout just gives it away.
No, you just. That eraser.
So here's our 2 things. This is what insurance looks at. And the scary part right now is we're coming up on renewal.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a guy named Sumi getting beat up pretty bad right now. But he's in our corner fighting for us. So you can see the things that they're looking at. It's a snapshot for the underwriter to look at and go, how bad do we need to do? So
Go back, John, go back. Look at seatbelts, 9. Who doesn't wear seatbelts? What the?
You?
What? No, I'm turning my head. I mean,
I was like, man, Mike, you dinner talk to him. He's like, who doesn't wear seatbelt? He's back there. I don't know.
That's me.
Go ahead. What do you have to say?
No, but I mean, like, okay, I mean, is that when they get pulled over and they don't have a seatbelt, or is it like if you're rolling around like CMC, it's a big yard?
No, CMC is private property.
Okay.
You're only required to wear a seatbelt when you're on a governmental road.
And I'll give you a little bit of advice on that. DOT, any officer, I don't care what city you're in, if they don't see you have a seatbelt on, they are allowed to pull you over.
Yep.
And they are allowed to pull you over just to verify if you got a seatbelt on. You're a commercial vehicle.
Well, okay, so real quick. The Ninth Circuit Court, we all know what court that is, out of San Francisco?
Yeah.
Most liberal court in the nation. They ruled that an officer, if he wants to do an inspection on a truck, needs no probable cause, reasonable suspicion, nothing. Just the desire to do an inspection, and he can stop you. The other thing is that seatbelts in Arizona are not a primary violation. So if you're driving your car down the road and you don't have a seatbelt on, an officer can't stop you for that.
A truck can.
But a truck, you can. So just wear your seatbelts. I mean, I don't think I got the video. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I was going to show you the video of one of the trucks rolling over. And the guy was wearing a seatbelt. Had he not been wearing a seatbelt, he would have been chucked out.
Yeah.
So, why is it? Because some choose to disregard the rules. Why jeopardize our company with bad choices? Why make excuses rather than accept responsibility? Why not tarp the load rather than chance it? Why watch TV, videos, Netflix, Hulu, or whatever while you're driving?
While driving. Oh,
You think I'm joking?
I got my oldies flashing all day long. That's all.
So, hey, listen. Why not take your situation and make it better? Some of the comments I've heard from guys is that this is all I can do. If this is all you can do, be the very best. at what you do. We're all dealt different cards in life. And whether we are academically smart, which is not me, whether we're really good looking, again, not me. I mean, different people have different things in life that you're really good at. And if you're going to be a truck driver or I'll tell you someone who impresses the shit out of me is Antonio, who works here. That dude loves every minute of his job. Sorry. Who's not Tony? So here's a guy who was born. Holy shit! Better change my cap on. Here's a guy who was born with just a loss. Well, watch how he turns it around. He's a multi-millionaire.
Hasbulla, I'm your biggest fan.
He's 13 years old.
But you're mate, you've all seen that though, right? Berg in the face, chili in the eye, that literally was burning me. Next time I see him, I'm going to fix him up. I'm telling you, I'm going to fix him up. Oh shit, he's actually it.
Oh, damn it.
What a moment for the squad. Hasbulla's here as well, Paulie. And they're headbutting each other back and forth. Hasbulla, star power here in Abu Dhabi. Salam alaikum.
Hoje já schlimm dann. Oh. Salam alaikum.
So he took his cross and actually did something good. So we can all be as good as we want to be. And no matter what you do, you guys can be the very best. So remember, from dispatch, we have over 100 drivers, 4 dispatchers. That's 1 to 25 ratio. It's really hard. I mean, they juggle a lot of stuff in there. So when you call in or you're messaging in and you don't get something right back, there's a problem because, so if you call in or to Kelly, to say Kelly, and you say, Kelly, I'm empty or whatever, and she's like, okay, I'll call you right back, or she messages you, I can't talk right now. Don't just start blowing up all the other dispatchers' phones because she knows that you're looking for something, but when you go around here, this person doesn't know that you've talked to Kelly. It causes mayhem. So they said, please text them, give them some time. We know you guys get frustrated out there with the times because you started your clock. If you're frustrated with someone in management or in dispatch, call me and Mike. You guys can. If you start out with I'm fucking mad, then we'll say you let it rip. You can cuss us out all you want, but we don't want you calling dispatch and flipping on them. So just be careful with that, and we will help you in any way we possibly can. But just know that their plate is full from sun up to sundown. I mean, Kelly's in here today doing shit. So just be cautious, be courteous with dispatch.
When you guys offload, just find the nearest truck stop, get some breakfast, and try to get your dispatch.
It'd be nice if we were able to have your dispatch to you prior to, but right now freight's super slow, and these guys work their ass off getting us back hauls. I mean, some of the hauls were breaking even, if that. So, but it's to get you back here to where we can get you out again on something that pays decent money. So this is creating a DVIR in your ELD.
Hello and welcome to the Driver Vehicle Inspection Report, or DVIR, in the Samsara Driver app. This video will walk you through the process of recording and submitting your DVIRs. To start your DVIR, you will need to be logged into the Samsara Driver app. Once logged in, go to the HOS screen and select your status as on duty. From here, go back to the home screen and tap on the green DVIR button. To begin your DVIR, you will need to tap on the blue button at the bottom that says Add Report. It will ask you which type of DVIR you'd like to perform. Make your selection here. We will select Tractor plus Trailer. The beginning of your report should already be filled out with the vehicle name and VIN. If you have a specific trailer number to add, you may do so in the next line. Next, choose your inspection type. We will select Pre-Trip. The next section is the walk around. From here, you can take or select photos of the vehicle and trailer to add to the report. If you had selected tractor only, your last step would be to add any vehicle defects. If you also selected tractor plus trailer, you can add defects for both in the next two sections. Tap on Add or Remove Vehicle or Trailer Defects and tap on each defect to add to the report. Once you're finished with the report, quickly look through it once more to make sure you're not missing any other information. Add it in if you forgot anything. Tap on the Next button at the bottom. It will send you to the Safety Status page. If the vehicle is safe, you will tap on the check mark. If the vehicle is unsafe, you will tap on the space next to the check mark. If you select Vehicle is Safe, the app will ask you if previous defects were corrected or do not need to be corrected for safe operation of the vehicle. Lastly, tap on the Certify and Save button and you've completed your driver vehicle inspection report. In the next video, we'll walk through managing your hours of service.
So all these videos are on YouTube, guys. Yes, sir.
Do you guys do that daily for free trip no matter what? You guys only do it if there's a defect? How do you guys?
Good segue, thank you. So every day we've got to do a pre and post trip, right? You have to show time for it, right? Yes. When do you have to fill out a debrief?
When there are defects?
Right. At the bottom it says, so this whole thing is talking about the driver vehicle inspection report. Reports must identify the vehicle, list any defects discovered or reported to the driver which would affect the safety of operation of the vehicle or result in a mechanical breakdown. If a driver operates more than one vehicle during the day, i.e. trucks and trailers, so if you pull multiple trailers, you need to do another inspection on that trailer. But what it says is drivers are not required to prepare a report unless there's a defect. But you still got to show time for it, okay? All right. So we've had 2 rollovers, so we thought this video might help. Made it one of our neighboring sister countries.
The reason that trucks roll over has a lot to do with the fundamental differences between prime movers and trailers. They have different centres of gravity. Anything with a low centre of gravity is hard to flip over. But something else with a higher centre of gravity, even if it weighs the same, tips over much more easily. It's short and wide against narrow and tall. Low centre of gravity, stable, versus high centre of gravity is unstable. When we do our presentations, we use scale models just to show how the centre of gravity affects rollovers.
Just to give you some sort of example, when a prime mover by itself will roll over, generally, if you look at this model here, I don't know if you see the figures there, we're starting to get up around 50 to 70 degrees, depending on the truck. Some of the cab over stuff, being very low slung, will go right up to 70 degrees before they tip over, which is fairly good, it's fairly stable. We take this log truck, which is pretty common what you see ripping up and down the road every day. Have a guess when it's going to roll over. 25? 40? Any takers on 40? 35? 25 to 40 degrees is what we're saying. This isn't contrived, this is off tilt tests that have been done, and this is what you're looking at going down the road. Getting up there, you can see what Chris was talking about before. Trailer goes first. We're just starting to lift the wheel there. The reality is, a log truck like that, which isn't the most unstable one on the road, it's just a 6-axle skell, generally with a tri-axle on the back, will roll at 15 degrees static. That's before any other forces are applied anywhere. And as the logging industry knows, when you get a road with a 7 degrees crossfall to get rid of the water, there's not much left.
Could be the way the truck was loaded in the first place. I mean, if the load shifted during the trip down and they get to a particular corner, it's got a bit of slope on it. It could also be other drivers on the road moving out of the way of another driver who's not doing the right thing. It could be the road conditions themselves. Perhaps something's wrong with the road or it's not the right sort of route the truck should be going down.
Alan has a story that he tells in our presentation about someone he knows that perfectly illustrates what can happen when you're used to carrying one type of load, then you switch to a different type of load with the same weight but has a different centre of gravity.
One classic experience, a bloke I've known for a lot of years, utmost respect for him as a friend and a truck driver, 20 years driving quarry products, never an issue, never a ticket, not a problem, never overloaded, found him 20 kilos overloaded on axle once. Absolutely fantastic bloke, absolutely fantastic driver. One day, things are a bit tight at the quarry, he's got a big bolt bin, puts wood chips on. First load, same road, over he went.
What it's about is centre of gravity again. So we're looking at, in this particular model, is our sand, our quarry material. And most people would say a heavy load will roll first. So what we did was we showed the same weight in sand and chip bark, and we tipped the trailer up. We've got an axle move. We're up at about 25, 26 degrees, and 30 degrees it tips over. All right, that's what this quarry material does. Fill her up with chip bark. What do you think is going to go? Same weight, same truck, same tilt tray, same doing everything. We're already going before it even gets to 20 degrees. Gone. That's exactly what happened to him. He didn't know what the load was, even though that he was carrying, in fact, this is a little less than the sand weight. He didn't know what he was carrying, and where the centre of gravity is moved up in the truck, it becomes unstable. Simple as that. Just to prove that centre of gravity has more effect than the weight, What we'll do is take away half the weight, so we've got half the amount of chip bark in there, half the weight of the quarry product. So here we go, we're tipping it over, going, gone. Same as before. So we've just shown you that even with only half the weight, that the centre of gravity has more effect than the weight.
65k on a 65k corners might be fine one day, but the next day you could have a different load, higher, heavier up top, new drive tyres. All those contributing factors could mean you need to reduce the speed to get around that corner safely, and that's where the education needs to come in.
The two loaders that we had were both high loads. They were high loads, and they weren't heavy. They weren't as heavy as loaded rebar, but it's just that just because it's higher, it tips easier because the center of gravity's higher.
I forgot to come back to you. What? Did I come back to you with your question? All right. So we're all in a lot of these. What do you guys think here?
Higher gravity.
Higher gravity, but what about, let's look at load securement right now. What do you think?
At least one more in the back.
They said change that. Yeah, should have one more in the back.
Yeah, one more belly strap in the back. So we're going to go on something like this. We count the total number, right? And then the law requires us to go up to half. And so if you can't go under half, but so if there's not a number, you do go up one more. Right? Yeah. So on 7 high, we go to number 4.
On 9, you go 5.
Yeah. So I see a lot of guys doing like 2 down here, and then you're up here, and then you're over the top, and just staggered out. You're actually in violation of the law. So go through half or just above half, and then over the top.
Hey, is that ratchet in a tire?
Well, there's no air to the trailer, but yeah. So if somebody jumps in that and takes off real quick, they're going to
tear the tire up.
I got to regroup the tire for it.
That's locked.
So, Mr. J, if you go at the second layer from the bottom and you run straps or chains, is there a violation for that?
Well, you're not going to get the. So this is what's called in the load-specific category, and if you don't do it exactly like it says in the out-of-service criteria, it says if they haven't done everything exactly like it says in for something like this, it's stress lumber, so it's 116. If you haven't done everything just like that, you're out of service.
Oh, wow.
And out of services suck for points.
There shouldn't be dunnage right there in the very back end anywhere where the last strap is. Because all you're going to do is bend it. It's not pushing down on the rest of the stack anyway.
There should be.
Yeah.
So is everybody carrying dunnage with them? Carry dunnage. When you're here, we've got a huge pile of dunnage. I know CMC is starting to get a little skimpy with their dunnage, but just grab your dunnage here. And when you're dropping off, did they buy the dunnage or did they buy the load? They bought the load. So don't let them take all your dunnage. So I just want to look at this and just see. So when you're going to press down real hard, be near your dunnage sticks. Because otherwise you're going to bend stuff. This is where you're going to get the most bite. But this is done very, very well. Whoever did this, excellent job. Now, out of these two, which one would you like to haul? Yeah. Either one of them.
They're both not right.
So, I mean, at least they're trying to hold the bottom portion of it. But what I noticed is that you've got the holes that go down. So you can do all sorts of funky stuff with your chains, dropping them down through there and not having to go all the way forward, right? Which means you're going to get more length on your chain. Okay, please, do not secure your dunnage like this.
Oh my God.
So on the back one, you can see the strap coming up, going over the top and down. He crossed these, and so what happens to the middle ones is they walk out. And so this particular load, this particular load walked out and dumped a 4x4 out on the street. Some lady hit it. And she had the fortitude to make sure that she got our number. So when she called me, I was like, right. So I called the driver, hey, you missing a 4x4? Oh, yeah, how'd you know?
I miss it too.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a preferred way?
Yes. I'll show you here in a second. But yeah, we have a preferred way. So $3,582.82 or $52.82. That's what it cost us.
And we were lucky if they didn't go through so many windshields down there.
Or what if it came off and a motorcycle was behind us? And he takes a digger. I mean, then they could have gone after the driver. Had he died, negligent homicide. I mean, for the love of Pete. That's why, guys, if you will just be professional, all these go away. All of them. And I'm not talking, this group, the guys that show up every month, kudos to you. But those listening who don't ever show up or maybe not ever listen to these, watch them on our webpage. We've got to figure out how to take care of ourselves.
Guys that get violations, why don't they have to mandatorily come to 4 safety meetings in a row?
Well, the biggest reason that we never made the safety meeting mandatory is that points where we see that we can give you some extra pay is because if we make it mandatory, it's required to be in your office.
It's required to be on duty time.
It's on duty.
So,
which is why we make it so it's
I'm
not
talking
mandatory.
about an in-house thing.
Hey, David?
The big ones, that's all I was.
But actually, to his point though, that would solve 2 problems.
Yeah.
So now now it's on duty time, you're gonna get less loads, less miles a week. You don't have to do an additional charge. You're getting both, right?
Yeah, but
You're getting in the safety meeting and we're getting less money.
no, and I agree with you guys, man. I agree 100%. But remember, the balancing act we do in management, because you wouldn't believe the guys that just are like, and we don't even know. Sometimes Kelly's yelling at me, John, why isn't so and so and it's dropped? So the truck and trailer's here. We go out there, cleaned out.
Wow.
I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
So it's a tough rope we walk. All right. So here we go. We don't like the dunnage being carried under here. But if you are going to carry it under there, the law is real clear. If you have anything on your trailer that's longer than 5 feet but less than 10 feet, irrespective of the weight, it has to have 2 diagrams. So you'll see guys that'll have like 1 4x4 and then they'll stack a bunch of them this way and throw 1 strap. Violation?
Yeah.
Out of service?
Yeah, 2 straps.
Yep. So this again, not good. All right, our red warning flags, how big do they have to be? 18 inches on point. So when we bend it in like this to save the flag, you're in violation. You violate an oversized permit, guess what the officer can do? He can take your permit from you. Thank you, that's mine. Then he calls ADOT or Caltrans or Nevada and they turn them in. And you get so many turned in a year, and guess what you don't get?
You don't get a permit.
You don't get permits. So remember, flags are at your extremities, far back and as far wide as you need to go. When's the only time we don't need 2 flags? When it's less than
4 feet.
2 feet.
Less than 2 feet, very good. Less than 2 feet, 1 flag right in the middle. If it's over 2 feet, flag on each extreme edge.
In some states require it at the front too. Colorado's one of them.
Oh, Colorado?
So when you're turning and it's sticking out, it's flagged. No.
We just had an accident like that. That's why I laughed.
And then you can see the flag in your mirror flopping. It gives you, if you got good tripping.
There you go. Yes, sir.
So I've got a question. I get that it's got to be on the extreme outsides, but we've been doing a lot of the bad loads lately to take the job sites.
Uh-huh.
So if they're different lengths. if the outside one happens to only be 4 feet, and then you've got one 6, 3, whatever, I've always put on the longest 2. But if the longest 2 and there's still 3 or 4 that are 5 or 6 feet, is it still technically supposed to be on the outsides?
So
it might be 3 feet short of what your longest overhang is. Does that make sense?
It's supposed to be further back, John.
Well, the furthest back, but it says at, so let's see, what, projecting loads wider than 2 feet. It's not in this one. What it says is all 4
It
corners.
says must be located to indicate maximum width of loads which extend beyond the sides and or rear of the vehicle.
Yeah. And then
if it's doing the max width, but I've got 2 more pieces that are further back, do I still go to the outside?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
I think that one, I would go to the back because that's the furthest part of the shooting.
I generally do. That's my best judgment there.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there was an actual.
Don't worry, somebody will figure it out on the side of the road.
I'll let you know later.
All right. So the question was brought up. How do we properly secure our dunnage? Proper. Right there.
Or it's really better if you put that. If you put
that on the side, not on the top.
On the front or the back?
Not even the back.
Yeah.
The front.
You want it on the front.
One on the front because it's still adjustable.
It's still adjustable, right?
I like it in the back. I didn't have to worry about falling off the catwalk.
So, but this, so here we go. This was in our yard this week. The driver that picked it up, he came in and talked to me. He's like, "Holy cow! For some reason, I had a brain fart. I thought it was just one long piece." So at the back, he has the X chains in the back. Gentlemen, our trucks are not powerful enough to take off fast enough to make that stuff slide back. So, but they are powerful enough to stop so quickly that shit will slide forward and cause catastrophic injury, death, slice your feet off, cut the cab off the truck, just the good stuff. So they use edge protectors. We know that steel and edge protectors don't mix from a prior slid load. Here's one bungee cord. Our bungee cords?
No, violation.
Yeah, bungee cords are there for keeping a broom or a shovel in place.
In your cars.
Please stop. If you guys are doing this, don't do it. Unless there's a stay pocket in the front, don't do it because this trailer's not designed. The front 6 inches, there's no structure to it. So then you're setting all that weight to the rebar on it, and plus you're coupling up across the front blade, and it's just destroying our trailers. So always go back to the first 2 stay pockets, right in between those. All right, our accident procedures. This is straight out of National Interstate. Stop your vehicle, take a few slow, deep breaths, and I'll tell you what I experienced. So the guy that ran across the freeway in front of the gentleman that was driving our truck, when I got the call, it was sheer panic, and in fact, my butthole clenched because I'm like, oh, gosh, we just smoked a guy.
Was that the other day?
Yeah.
I heard that on the news, and I was like, please don't let it be our trucks.
It was. I'll show you the video later, but man, I'm like, again, I was probably like the guy standing on the center line. I'm like, gosh, skinny thoughts. We just smoked the guy, son of a biscuit eater, and the driver's going 100 miles an hour, which is totally understandable. I mean, I would have been. And then all of a sudden he stops. He goes, "Hey, John, I didn't hit." And I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness." Thank you for saying that. So listen, when you guys have accidents, even the most seasoned person, accidents are terrifying. They're bad. Most of the times I get the call that says, "John, I fucked up." Okay, that's the call I don't like to hear. But take time. Stop and collect yourself. Don't go running around like JoJo the idiot circus clown. Collect yourself. Don't apologize for the accident. Don't admit fault. Don't say anything. You can say stuff like, "Man, this sucks, and this sucks. We had to meet like this." That's fine. But we don't want to admit guilt. We don't want to do anything of that. Start making a mental effort to be courteous, be nice to people. One of our accidents we had up in the bay where we hit a BMW, nice brand new one. The guy jumped out and started chewing our driver's ass, and so our driver jumped back in his truck. And he said, "Oh, I'm not getting out." He's on the phone with me. "I'm not getting out. The guy's yelling at me." So just be courteous. It goes a long ways. Protect the scene from of the accident. Turn on your four-way flashers. Get your triangles out. If you're in a very, very bad spot, move to the side. But if you're not in a bad spot, stay where you're at. Check for injuries. You guys are not EMTs. Don't render medical aid of movement. You guys can always put pressure on something. You guys can always take your shirt off and try to stop bleeding. Some of you guys probably shouldn't do that. We could infect people. But I mean, you do stuff like that, but never take them out of the vehicle that they're in, unless being in there will kill them. So if it's on fire, you can yank them.
Are we covered under a Good Samaritan law?
You would think, but we're not.
Really?
Oh no. You might be, but the company's not.
What?
But what they're doing now is they're saying, well, Good Samaritan, what's your medical training, Curtis? Well, I have none. Well, what the hell made you think it was okay to move him? He had a severe spine injury, and by you moving him, now he's paralyzed. He's quadriplegic.
Yep. Only if the car's on fire.
If it's burning or something, it's going sinking like the Titanic, yank him. I mean, because then you can say, hey, should I have left him in there to burn to death?
Right.
That's not a good scenario. So
The car's burning, burn away.
they don't explode. That's all I'll hold you guys. Notify your company and the police, right? So who we call first? Call the police first. Once you get done reporting it, know where you are, vehicles involved, and injuries. Once you're done, they're going to want you to stay on the phone. Say, hey, I got to call my safety guys. Bye, click. And you call me. And let me know what's going on. Tell me the truth. Because if you lie to me, I'm gonna give you bad advice based on what you told me. If you tell me the truth, I'm gonna try to make it minimal for you. I'll take care of you, I promise. Do not move your vehicle if possible. Complete your company's accident report. Before we complete the accident report, what are we doing? Oh, come on, guys. Pictures. Get out there and turn into, a photographer. Don't take pictures into headlights. They suck. But take pictures, different angles, different depths. Tons of pictures. If you send me 100 pictures, you'll hear, good job. We had one guy take, what did he take? 15 pictures of the exact same thing and 9 pictures of another exact same thing. So he met it's 25, but I got 2 pictures basically. So it does not help. I'm able to win cases, guys. We're coming out on the good side on these things, but I need the evidence collected, and you guys are the evidence collectors. If you're in an accident, the camera, if you're in an accident, I'll send it to you. So we have a driver talking about the container. He's making a right-hand turn into a truck stop. Some guy comes hauling ass this way. He doesn't wait. Our driver's like, oh shit. He stops. He was only rolling at 5. He stops, and he's like, oh, what's happening? And this guy comes by because the rebar's hanging off the front of his trailer. He goes off into the dirt to get around him because we can't waste that much time. It splits the side of the container wide open. Now, here's where the problem lies. The guy backs up, he gets out, he's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. This is totally my fault. I screwed up. Don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. So our driver goes, hey, thanks. All right. Pulls into the truck stop.
You can't do that.
Then he calls me. And I say, call 911 right now. And he calls me back. Well, the other guy already called in. So who do you think that CHP came and thought was telling the truth?
He thought it was our fault.
Yeah. So CHP is chewing this guy's ass when I downloaded the video and sent it to the driver. And our driver was able to go, well, officer, this is what happened. And the officer went from being pissed off at our guy to,
Really pissed off.
LLPOF right here. You know? So the videos work really well, and I try to get them to you as fast as I possibly can. They work really, really well. Don't sign anything, only if the police have you sign it. You don't sign anything from anybody else. Only discuss the accident with the police and me. Don't even talk to our insurance adjuster until you talk to me. So this one I forgot to change this slide. So here's the test. True or false? If you believe you're at fault for the accident, you should admit and apologize.
False.
False, right. When an accident occurs, what should you do?
Oh, you shut the hell up.
Should you protect the accident scene?
Yeah.
Should you take pictures?
Yeah.
Should you sign forms?
No.
No? Should you gather witness information?
No.
Yes. So that's the one we don't
If
do.
it's your fault.
Yeah.
Huh?
Depends on if you caused it or not.
No, if you caused it, hey listen guys, if you caused it and we're at fault, you still do all that. Because it minimizes what we're liable for. You wouldn't believe the bull crap that goes on out there. We paid injuries on an accident we had in Nevada, 3 teens in the car. We paid on 5 injuries. So even if we're at fault, we still want to collect the same because it protects us. So photographing the scene, like I said, you protect it, you call, blah, blah, blah. Then you get to your photographs. One from each side, step back far enough to capture the situation, take pictures of skid marks, road signs, lane lines, people. Take pictures of the people. Great. Because if they're walking around, throwing shit, oh my gosh, we do keep that. Because that could have caused the injury as far as I'm concerned. Take pictures of everything. On other semi-trucks, we want the DOT number, the truck number, the company name, license plates, truck and trailer.
You want video too?
If you get them walking around, yeah.
No, I mean the whole thing, whole walk around video.
No, I'd rather stills.
Just pictures.
Yeah. Videos of people, yeah. And if you get a guy that's telling you, "Ah, man, I really screwed up. I cut in front of you," you could be on your phone. You'd be like, "Oh shit, he just admitted." Video. What'd you say? You know, you don't need to hold up your camera. Sir, speak into the mic. What'd you say? You can just sit there and be like, "What? What'd you say? I'm at fault?" "Oh no, I said I'm at fault." Beautiful. So it's protecting us. Again, we take a ton of, take different depths, different angles, try to take good pictures. So, true or false, you should take photographs of injured parties. True. When taking photographs of the scene, you should A, take photographs from each side. B, step far enough back to capture the situation. D, take your shots along or at right angles. D. Very good. All right. Yes, sir.
You want us to take pictures of people with their blood and all that?
Okay, we're old enough.
And they're dead?
We're old enough that.
Oh, I know what I'm but I didn't know that. I was always told not to leave leave those pictures away.
Yeah.
That's what I was told.
No, because we can show injuries.
You can show injuries now.
Yeah.
Because people fake injuries and our lawsuit had been. Okay, all right.
So we're old enough. We watched. What was the film called? Remember? Red Asphalt. In Driver's Ed. Curtis, you remember that one?
Yeah.
Just us old guys know. So this is the accident packet that should be in your truck, guys. Everything's spelled out on the front of it. What to do? Has my phone number. Has everything. Inside of it, your name, truck, trailer number. I get truck all the time, no trailer number. Date, time, day of the week, location, tell me where you're at. Roadway, landmarks. Did you spill fuel? That's a big one. If we're spilling fuel, our insurance will crap a brick. Because then we got to get out there and clean it up. Give me the police's information. You know, what agency, name, badge number. If you won't give you the name or she won't, get their badge number. It's no big deal. Arrests or citations. Did they cite anybody or did they arrest anybody? Let me know that. Other people's information. If you're not collecting this before the police get there, they're going to tell you to get back in your truck. So that's a hard thing. Because I want photos. This can wait if the police are coming. The conditions. So this is all weather, lighting, roadway, all that other stuff. The details of the accident is where you write what happened. Be descriptive. I don't care if you guys misspell, mispunctuate, run on sentences, run on paragraphs. I could give a rat's ass. We can fix that. Be descriptive. Draw the diagram of the accident in the box, unless you need more room. And then there's 2 other sheets. I don't think I put them in. So, roadside inspection. When you guys get an inspection roadside, this is how you transfer it. This guy was on the internet. It's easy to copy in.
Here we go with another Samsara driver app training video. This one being about roadside inspections, how to go through an inspection with an officer to show them your logs. The idea of this video being that it'll just be a really quick, here's a couple things to check, here's how to get to the inspection part of the app. So that if you're about to get an inspection right now and you're like, shoot, I don't know exactly what to do, hopefully this couple-minute video knocks out a couple things so that you feel more comfortable. I'm going to talk about a few things: general form and manner, making sure that's taken care of, making sure you have your logs certified, how to get to the roadside inspection part, where is your DOT quick reference card, and how to send your logs to an officer. So to begin, general form and manner. So let's start with today's general form and manner. Up here at the top, I clicked on vehicle. I got to make sure I have trailers in here. Got to make sure you have your bill of lading in. That's a violation if you don't. If you're thinking that you haven't done that on the past 7 days, come into the hours of service tab and then scroll down and you can click on each day. I'm going to choose Friday. Looks like I had a trailer, but I didn't have my bill of lading. So I'm going to put something in here. Just a quick hint. If you're like, I don't remember what those bill of lading numbers are, they usually don't check. Just type something up really quick so that you can avoid getting a violation for not having anything entered in there.
This is why.
So now you've got the general form and manner stuff taken care of. What about certifying your logs, which is basically signing your logs? You can do that one by one in the hours of service tab, or come back here to the main screen. Up at the top, this little button that's a box with an arrow in it. The sign out button, if you have uncertified logs, you can click review and certify, and it'll let you do them all at once to save you a bunch of time. It'll show you if a day has a violation, so then you could go back and try and edit it if it's an editable thing. Then you click agree and submit, and you certify them all. So you've taken care of those couple steps. Now let's go into where you actually do a roadside inspection. So we go into the hours of service tab. Right here, this roadside button, I'm going to click on that. You can create a pin right here. The idea is, if you're worried the officer's going to snoop through your phone and look at other things on your phone, you can create a pin so they cannot leave this app. So you can do that if you want. I'm not worried. I'm going to continue without. This is the spot where they can inspect. They can look at your logs right here. I've had them do that with me before, and they can just scroll back through the days by cycling through. They may ask for your DOT quick reference card. Go to ELD in-cab materials, DOT English. There it is. It's just your instructions that tells them, here's how to do an inspection on this particular Samsara device. It's a violation if you don't have it, so make sure you know where that is. And then if they want you to send your logs to them, you hit transfer in the top right. Wireless Web Services is how you send it to their ERODS number, their unique officer number. And so if they give you their unique number, you type it in the comments and you hit transfer and it will send it. Or if they don't want you to do that, they just want you to email it, of course you can click email. In the comments, type their email, then hit transfer, and that will send it to them. And that's really all you need to know. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully it gives you a couple things to make sure that you've got in line so that your logs are as clean as they can be. Of course, if you have violations and those things, I mean, that's totally separate. You got to make sure you're running a clean logbook. If you have violations that you can fix because you forgot to switch duty statuses, try and do that so that you can have that out of the way. But as a general form and manner and how to get to your logs, how to just run through the inspection in general, this is how you do it. Thanks for watching.
So, why do you think I had this guy's video rather than Sam Sarah one?
Just like you said, if there ain't nothing in there, put something in there.
Right. He's telling you what you can do roadside. Sam Sarah won't tell you, hey, when you get stopped, really go back and check your logs, see if they're all certified. See what things you can fix before we get written up.
Yeah.
And so that's what I liked about this fellow right here. He said it real good.
Hey, what do we put in, John, if we're empty as far as the load number?
You don't have to put nothing.
You don't have to put anything.
If you have no other load you're going to, you don't have to put in anything.
Old school is put MT in there.
Yeah.
For empty.
Yeah. They were spellers.
Are we allowed to put that in there?
Huh?
We're allowed to put that in there?
I never got violated.
You can put empty in there, you don't have to put nothing. I mean, you can say, I haven't gotten to dispatch, I just offloaded, and I don't have anything, so I'm good. So please post trip trailers when they're being dropped. This is an exciting couple slides here, guys. This is the time to report damage or equipment that's not working. We know who dropped the trailer. It's easy enough for us to go back to who the last person who touched it was. So if a driver gets to a trailer that was dropped and reports damage or equipment not working, there's going to be a monetary penalty to the driver that failed to send in a debrief. This is respect to others. You don't like to get slowed down, neither does anybody else.
Got a phone call to you guys too, or somebody, or just do the DVIR?
Do the DVIR, because as soon as you send it, it prints right in Scott's office, so we know that. So, this is where you guys control. Let's choose what the monetary fine will be. You guys get to choose, and we'll go with whatever you want, as long as it's not zero. I mean, you guys get a say in what happens. But we've got to stop doing this. I mean, we get calls almost daily. This effing trailer out at CMC's jacked up. It's all tires are flat spotted, or it's got a hole in the sidewall, or somebody punched a hole through the back of it and knocked out lights. I mean, just all sorts of stuff.
I have a question. Do you guys have an interchange agreement with CMC? Are they allowed to drive your guys' trailers?
Yeah.
You have interchange.
So,
Yeah, we know.
Okay, because obviously we had that same issue.
Yeah, but generally, our trailers that are dropped out there, they're not running around.
Yeah, they don't pull our trailers over there other than they preload them. And they've screwed up plenty of trailers. They drop a little rebar on, they flip one over on the ground. You know,
The only reason I'm asking
they
is
for
because
that
it's the same issue, right? So
It's the
may
exact
not
same.
necessarily be
The common denominator there is CMC.
correct.
But
So
yeah, they don't pull our trailers down the road.
No.
So it's clearly road damage, and obviously we know that.
But it helps us. So think, if you do a good post-trip inspection of that trailer, you drop it off, CMC damages it, we can go back to CMC and say, look, at this time, when the trailer was sitting here, no damage. Now there's damage. The next driver in says there's damage. And then we have a route and an avenue to go back on CMC. But without that, we just, bend over, here it comes. So, come on guys, what do you want to do?
What we do a DVIR when we drop a trailer?
If there's an issue with it.
No, I'm saying if there's no issue. Like when we drop one at CMC and we wanted to show that the trailer's not messed up or nothing, but we just do a DVIR and Scott can have it on file and that'll prove that the trailer wasn't messed up.
Yeah.
All you can do, you take one picture of the front, picture of each side, and picture in the back. You'll be able to tell by the pictures if the trailer was damaged or not.
Yeah.
And that's including the rub rails and everything.
Good idea, Gary.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So instead of a monetary value, should we say that all trailers dropped to CMC?
I think every trailer should be dropped, have a DVIR done on it and shipped over, just showing that the trailer was not messed up. Because then it saves our asses and it saves whoever else is going to pick up the trailer. Because say if I drop a trailer and the inner tire's flat and I didn't post it and Cody goes over and picks it up Well, Cody can call Scott. Scott can look at the picture and say, yeah, it was flat. Fairview didn't call it in. And that comes back on me. That don't come back on nobody else in the fleet. That comes back on me. And that's the way it should be done. I think we should have to do a DVIR when we drop a trailer. With pictures.
Yeah,
That ain't a lot. 5 minutes of that. That's not a lot.
Especially with your cell phone. You do it with your
Well, yeah, you can do it with your cell phone, take pictures, but you don't want to blow Scott's phone up with, what, 100 pictures a day? You know what I'm saying? So I think if you do a DVIR, it'll be on file.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any? That's the only thing I can think of.
But they just kind of come back.
Yeah, just come back on 2 sides. That's it.
I mean, who here has gone out to pick up a trailer and it's jacked up? Yeah. How pissed off are you?
Very pissed.
You're thinking if I could find the son of a bitch, skinny eater, I'd beat him with my load bar, right?
Hey, go down Harris Street Bar in Tucson. They fuck them up down there too. But a DVR, I think it would.
I like the idea.
It'll help us and it'll help maintenance.
Okay, so here's some more stuff, and then we'll get you guys. We're almost the video section.
Radio.
Our star drivers, front and center.
Oh, the guys in the locker.
Front and center.
Holy shizzle. 85.
Really?
I remember that year.
Do you remember this year coming up? Peter,
I was at rehab.
Peter, do you remember the year coming up?
Oh shit.
Well, that ain't my truck.
Is that Stone?
Yeah,
Bowman, very good.
oh, look at that.
87.
Woo.
Keep going, buddy.
Look at he's driving with one hand, too.
Wow, dude. If the tire would blow right now, he'd have been done.
91, guys. And he's coming into a curve.
Come around that corner.
Yeah, he'd been dead.
Stop.
Oh, see those idiots. It's
Sun in the eye.
Sun in your eyes.
Hey, so this this
I can't see.
There's a runway through there.
It's a dirty windshield.
So the response I got from this individual was, well, I didn't get caught.
Oh!
Like your tires were in the front explode.
Yeah.
How heavy was he?
Hey, what are your tires rated at on the
75.
75.
70, that's all.
75.
David,
We pay extra.
don't you get a little,
Yep, every time I try to go that fast, my phone starts buzzing and buzzing.
Oh, you get rigged on that?
yeah, you get some buzz. Boss gets a buzz.
On everybody? On everybody?
It hits 80 or if you're going 10 miles an hour over.
10?
Yep.
How many you got?
Yeah. It's not only David.
Hey, I'm sorry for all those times.
It's not only David. I get it. Jordan gets it.
Scott gets it.
Because we start taking points away. You guys get 10 overs, we take points.
Oh, well, we're just trying to get our fuel mileage bonus going downhill.
Alabama overdrive does not count. So,
Don't even
So
talk
look.
about points.
hey,
That's
all we want you guys to do is look forward. And I want somebody in here to tell me why this occurs. Oh no, this guy is an attaboy.
Oh, yeah.
This is an attaboy. I apologize.
I've had that happen many times.
This is good. He got distance, stay away from him. This is an attaboy. That's good. Here we go. 37 miles an hour.
Oh, he's on his phone.
Oh, he's driving straight.
Texting.
Watching Netflix.
Porno.
It's
nighttime.
Tell me when you see it. Tell me when you see it. Huh?
Oh, geez.
Now look how fast it rips his airlines out.
What was that?
I tell you what, sometimes our headlights suck.
A cone.
There was a cone?
Cone.
So what, the rubber cone?
Rubber cone.
Yeah, I was surprised you got damaged too.
On
Okay, before I even start playing this, what do you see?
Bright lights.
Brake lights.
Means back out of it.
No shit. Yeah. Well, look at this.
Four. Our argument's 4 hours.
Did the truck hop?
Well, there was something in the back.
So this is. Hey, so this is my question. What was he doing?
Adjusting his radio.
Can we know? Do we know what was going on?
Yeah, the camera covers it.
Thank you, Mike. The camera was covered to the interior. How about this guy? Wonder what he's doing. What's that right there in the corner? Octagon, red, 4 letters.
He blows right through it.
Ay, ay, ay.
Hey, did you see all the skid marks right there at the front? All the skid
Yeah,
marks?
I mean, he saved our tires. Yeah, I did my bonus. It's a good thing that person in that little car was paying attention, right?
Yeah.
Does the camera read the stop sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the camera reads everything. These cameras are phenomenal. So you can see when the light changes.
Way back there.
And here we go.
You should be going that fast up to a light anyway. You should back out of where light even changes.
Where is this Smith driving or opposite of Smith driving?
That's Warner.
What state is he in? It's a giveaway. Texas. That's who we're taking.
Yeah, the lights. The lights are
The lights. Yeah. Texas is the only one that does lights like that.
That's so they're not hanging down in the oversized loads.
Yeah, they're sideways. They're set up and down.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay. So listen. Imagine this. You guys have $86,400 in your bank account. Pretty good. Somebody steals $10 from you. Would you be so upset that you would throw the remaining $86,390 away?
Fuck no.
In hopes of getting back at that son of a bitch that took your $10?
Hell no.
Or move on with your life? We all have 86,400 seconds in every day. When someone pisses you off, don't let them steal the rest of your fucking time.
Plus, it's bad on your heart.
It's easier just to go. And I'll tell you guys, I have had the worst road rage in the world, and it has not ever done anything good. So when somebody gets mad, when dispatch pisses you off, when safety pisses you off, I won't say driver manager because he's
Or
a
John
sweetheart.
pisses you off.
When the wife or spouse pisses you off, don't let them steal your time, man. Be happy. Life is too short to be going through it pissed off. As of February 5th, these are the leaders. And the leaderboard changes quickly, folks. Let me tell you. It changes quickly.
What happens if we have a truck that cannot get over 600? What do you do?
It can't go what?
Over 600 gallons, even if you want. Like, I don't care.
What? Your truck won't do it?
Oh no, I don't ride a liter. You cannot. I get 5.6 trucks more. That's all you get.
We need to look at it. Yeah. It needs to be.
On the hood, I'm just saying, you can't. I cannot get over. You idle a lot? I don't know.
We have people that.
David, what do you get?
Every truck we've had, somebody's managed to get over 6 miles a gallon with them. If there's something wrong with the truck,
So you should be able to get. Bring it in, and they'll put it on the system and check it.
What kind of truck do you got?
He's a hood.
Yeah, and Lala, what do you get usually?
You can't go by the
That's different.
California
The
flat.
flat tops are different. That's it, because it does make a difference. I'm just saying, like, because I do not idle my truck.
Yeah, what do you get, Dave? What do you usually get?
My hood?
Yeah.
5.5. I've gotten 5.9. The wind.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I can't compete in that because.
But I have gotten 6.3 once.
Yeah,
the
can't
loads
be
were under 10,000 going up the Utah back.
Yeah, let's see.
The load has a lot to do with if it's a high, light load, and
If it's
it
high,
catches the
it's
wind like an umbrella and like a parachute, you're going to get no fuel money.
It's Yeah, we're going overall and predominantly rotary haul. Right? Okay. So it is possible, and people, every type of truck we've had, somebody's done it. It's just, it depends on how you drive. If you seriously cannot get over that, then you need to check the truck out.
I'm not complaining about it.
I'm not having too much power.
What we can do is we could put a different hood on there that's more aerodynamic. All right, so let's go over some of the things we've been talking about, because we send it out on the Samsara notes to you guys, and then I get reports that have the violation that we send out. So steering wheel knobs, please remove them. We're a no-knob company. Believe it or not, they're illegal in about 42 states.
I don't get that. Because you're backing up, you got one hand, you kind of like this, you know, I mean.
Curtis, back when we were younger, I get it. 22-inch steering wheel, and you had to force that thing. Nowadays, no radar detectors. If the shop catches it in the truck, they're taking it up to David's office, and that's where it stays.
You can get it back from me, but you can't put it back in the truck.
Secure your dunnage, please. Do proper load securement. Certify your logs. Have only one trailer on your ELD log. Have the proper bill of lading number on your log, and only one. Fill out your driver vehicle examination report or inspection report when there's a defect with the truck or trailer. Follow at a safe distance, 4-second rule. I think some of the guys think 0.4 of a second, but it's 4 seconds. Become familiar with the accident procedure and know where your accident packet is. So here's some more good news. Those who have uncovered the inside-facing camera are getting 100 points a week. It's checked randomly by Jordan and myself. If we can see your face, you get the 100 points. Yeah. If you don't remove the inside camera cover and have an unobstructed view to your face, then you're not going to be qualifying for the safety quarterly contest.
It starts next quarter. This quarter
you'll still qualify, but next quarter there was a typo in our what we emailed out to you guys. So I know that you guys don't want to uncover them because this is what you're thinking we're going to be doing.
Oh!
What movie?
If you get a sneak peek of it,
Hold on, Peter.
What movie?
Why would you guys cover
Huh? Porky's. Very good.
Porky! You remember?
But us in the office are all afraid that we're going to see this. So hey, nobody wants to. We don't have time to sit around and go, what Peter Goldman is doing right now. We don't want to see that. When we first had the camera systems, we actually nicknamed the person Booger because every time the camera would alert from his head, he was 2 knuckles deep in his nose. But so we're not spying on you. What we want to see is what's occurring when you guys get these alerts, so that we can call you and say, hey, put down the phone. Hey, change this behavior. That's it. We're not going to monitor you. Nobody wants to see anybody in here naked. I don't want to see what you're doing in the sleeper. Promise.
Doesn't it only get the video? The video goes to a third party if there's an incident, they review it, and then it goes to you. Is that right? Or is it constantly recording in that truck?
No, I'm a third party. The only time it records video is when there's an alert. So you run a stop sign. You have a harsh brake.
That's what I meant.
Harsh turn.
Right.
There's impact. It doesn't record jack.
Like the follow distance, it doesn't trigger unless if you're going under, what is it, like 45?
Yeah, if you're under 45 miles an hour,
traffic, it doesn't trigger.
doesn't give us the alerts that you're following too close. So we really want you guys to uncover them. We've lost tens of thousands of dollars. Insurance figured it out that we were allowing you guys to have the inside covered, except for the new guys, and that's why we changed that rule. So please take them off so that we're going to be gentle and kind, but we need them off.
Please take
If
that
you
off.
can.
Please take that off.
Come on. I know you know you're seeing this at the fuel island.
Please take this. Hey,
Well, that's just as bad.
this is no end to presentation.
Thank you guys all for coming.
Hey, David, when are we going to get the navigation back on the Sansaris?
Oh, I'm working on getting you guys an actual trucking navigation.